There's nobody joining us on Zoom. Oh well. Okay, so good morning everyone. You're here for moderate yoga. So this morning where I am, we have a beautiful, glorious fall morning. So I'm choosing for this class to focus on heart openers, right? So that we can sort of bring ourselves and our spirit and open up. So if you have any back issues, the first thing you're going to want to do is be extra careful of taking too much with the heart openers. So sometimes heart openers can mean back bending, and back bending in those words alone can be kind of scary, but heart opening can be upper back opening as opposed to lower back opening. So it is a kind of back bending, but it's not as severe as you might think about a full back bend. So we'll do some low things like locust and cobra, and we're going to start out with a supported pose. So some of you might have blocks or blanket at home, and so what we're going to do to start is we're going to take, do you have anything with you, Iris, a block or a blanket? No? If you want to borrow one of these, you're welcome. So what we're going to do with this, I'm going to show you a way to come down onto your back, and we're going to take the option of a block and the blanket combo, or just a blanket if that's what you have available to you, and we're going to roll it up. So with this, yeah, you can have one of those. So with this, and you could also borrow this blanket here if you want that blanket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this blanket and make sort of a head cushion out of it, and then I'm going to take my block and put it across the mat over here. And then what I'm going to do with my body is I want to bring my shoulder blades on top of this block, and then I support my head with this blanket cushion. So if you want to get deeper, you could remove the blanket, and then if you don't have a block or you don't want to use them for whatever situation is going on in your own spine, you can just use a blanket. You find a really nice place that way, and it's also a little softer than a square block. And so you could roll your blanket into kind of a rectangle and put that under your upper back. This one might not be super safe for you, so you might want to really support your head with, if you have two blocks, put your head on a block and then put a blanket under your back. You can do it like that. Yeah. And so if you only have a blanket, then you can put that under your shoulder blades and drop your head back. So I recommend for the lower body constructive rest. So knees bent, feet on the floor, feet wider than your knees, and allow your knees to sort of collapse toward the center. Maybe they come to touch each other. Go ahead. Crank it closed. Yeah. So I want you to feel as if your shoulders, the heads of your arm bones are dropping downward toward the floor. And so your arms could drop out beside you, and maybe rotate at the shoulders so that your palms are facing up. And then once you arrive here, full deep breaths in, fill up the heart. And as you exhale, soften and drop in. And good morning. For those of you just joining us on Zoom, we're taking a heart opener to get started. And so what we're doing is we're resting on our back, and I've folded a blanket up to add a little bit of a lift under my shoulders. If you have a block, you could put a block there. And coming down so that your shoulder blades are across that blanket. The heads of your arm bones are going to be behind the blanket, And once you come down onto your back, let your arms either rest on your body or open them out toward the side. And I encourage you to keep your knees bent with your feet on the ground so that your lower back can rest downward toward the floor. And kind of widen your feet a tiny bit wider than your knees and allow the knees to kind of collapse toward each other. And take a visualization as you deepen your breath, expanding through the sides of the ribs. Imagine with that deep in breath that you could pull energy in from the sunshine we're having outside this morning. And then as you exhale, send out your heart space into the world around you and share your heart with others. So let's start moving this morning. As you exhale, drop both of your knees toward the left side. Let your outside knee, your left knee, fall all the way down as best you can. And if you wanted to roll your head to the other side, you can. And we'll just take one more of these to the opposite side. So lift your knees up, drop your knees over to the right side. Let your right knee fall all the way down toward the ground if you can. Palms face open. Big sigh. Now instead of coming back to the center, take your left side and bring it over your body to meet your right side so that you're resting on the right side of your body. We're going to get rid of whatever, so roll all the way onto your right side. So bring your left arm over, all the way over onto your right side, and get rid of whatever was under your back so that you're resting on your back, so that you're resting on your side. And then the next thing we'll do from here, once you got rid of whatever was under your back, is to lay down on your back. So roll back over. There should be nothing under you now, unless you need something under your head for the neck support. And pull your right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg long. Circle your right ankle. Squeeze and open those toes. Now flex the ankle, push the foot all the way toward the ceiling. Straight leg, push it up, all the way up. Good. Point and flex your ankle up here. Bend back and forth your ankle. Point and flex your foot. Yeah. Bend your knee again, pull it in close. Using just your right hand, open your knee out to the side and draw circles with your knee around that hip. Now pause in the center, trade hands, put your opposite hand on your knee, pull your knee across, coming into a twist. Over as much as is comfortable for you to go. It doesn't matter if your foot or knee reach the ground. They could always hover in space, or you could put them on a blanket or bolster or block. Opening up through the chest. Take your right arm wide if you can, and turn your face to look out toward the right side. Deepening that twist, opening the right shoulder area. And come back to center. Pull your left knee in as well, so you have both knees in at your chest this time, and rock side to side across your low back. Circle your knees around. And then we'll return the opposite direction with the circles. And let's come with the other knee. So keep your left knee with you. Extend your opposite right leg out long on the ground. So your left ankle, turn it in circles, rotate it around. Squeeze and open your toes. Release your hands, push your legs straight up toward the ceiling and alternate between flex and pointed ankle. Squeeze and open your toes. Pull your bent knee down again, squeeze it in nice and tight. Using just your left arm, open it out to the side and draw circles with your knee. Big giant circles, loosening that hip area. Both directions. Now trade hands. Right hand takes the knee. Open your left arm out to the side. Come into a twist. Pull your knee across your body. Rolling over. Again, take this twist only so far as it feels safe on your back. Open your left arm wide so you can stretch the front of the left side of your chest. The shoulder, gazing left. Inhale back to center. Both knees come in again. And this time we rock forward and back. Oh, we just got kicked out of Zoom. Forward and back rocking. And then catch a hold of your crossed ankles. Cross your ankles and maybe catch a hold of your ankles with your hands. Maybe, just an idea. And then sit all the way up. So keep that rocking going. Darn it. Once you get up, in cross-legged comfortable seat, place your hands on your knees and begin to move through cat and cow with your spine. Hands to your knees, and really moving through that rounding and arching of the back. So see how much movement you can get into your spine. Sorry everyone, I just need to restart this Zoom meeting. Feel free to sit up on a blanket or a cushion if you need. All right, we got the Zoom person back. All right, good. Okay, we're back on Zoom. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so coming into comfortable cross-legged seat, if I lost you, we're gonna start over here, cross legs. We're doing cat and cow in the spine. And then after you've done cat and cow a few times, let's circle around the knees. Take the torso around. And as you circle, support yourself with your hands on your knees. And see if you can find cat and cow through your spine as you move around. Oh, for some reason my video is off. Oh man. I don't understand. Reverse direction if you haven't already. All right, back to the center. Let's release hands out to the side. Drop your fingers down. As you inhale, palms raise up to the sky, gaze goes up. As you exhale, bend your elbows and cactus them toward the back as you open your heart. Good. Inhale, reach up. A little bit of an upper back bend here. Squeeze your elbows and shoulder blades toward the back with a big exhale. Inhale, come back up. One more exhale. Release your hands all the way down. Reach your right arm up. Inhale. Exhale over to your left, tip sideways. Deep breath here. Make a fist with your right hand that's over your head and circle your fist around. Release your right arm up, inhale, and exhale, release back down. Alright, let's go the other way. Inhale your other arm up, exhale, tip over toward your right side, relax through that right shoulder and elbow. Breathe deeply into your side waist and side ribs. Make a fist with your left hand and draw a circle. Rotate that around. Both directions. Inhale, reach back up to the sky. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, both arms come up. This time we'll twist to the left. Turn your torso, drop your arms down. Let your right arm cross over your lap to your other knee. And your left fingers can drop behind you. Sit really tall. Exhale, deeper twist. Inhale, tall in the spine. Exhale, deeper twist. Just the head, turn and look over your right shoulder. Maybe move your jaw side to side and feel that nice stretch. Pull your chin down toward your shoulders, stretching through the back of your neck. As you inhale, release back to center, arms up overhead. Drop your hands down in front of you and forward fold out over your shins. Release, relax. Allow your breath to soften and let go. Take this time to breathe into your back body. Inhale, lift your head, walk your hands back in close. Coming up to seated, and take your arms out to the side. We'll try the other side. As you inhale, both arms go up overhead. Exhale, twist to the right and lower your arms down over here. Your left hand crosses over to your opposite knee. Right fingers can reach out behind. Deep breath in lifts you tall. Deep breath out turns you a little deeper in your seat. Alright, just your head, turn it and look over your left shoulder. Nice stretch here in the back, maybe wiggle your jaw side to side again. Now pull your chin down towards your shoulder. And as you inhale, release everything back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release, hands down, forward fold one more time. Inhaling, lift from your head, walk yourself back in tight. Then release your cross of your legs, bring your feet out so they land on the ground. If you're sitting up on a high cushion, come off to the mat or to just a shallow blanket. We're going to take the feet wide and windshield wiper the knees. So lean back onto your hands and rotate your palms so your fingers point out to the side. Good. Then we take the knees and drop them side to side. And with this one, we want to try to get the knees to land all the way down. So those of you who have different hips than you were originally issued, please be careful. Be careful of that. I don't know all of you here, and sometimes practicing at home, hopefully people are logging into the Hive periodically and following on to these classes. So. All right, we're going to drop both knees over to your left side. And try to make space between your feet so that your left foot lands kind of at the top of your right thigh. And then we're going to rotate to the left so that you're facing out into a twist. So maybe your right hand comes across your body onto the knee, and your left hand can be a kickstand. It can help press you up. So I'm going to turn and face forward for this. And the way we'll get started is options, right? So you can stay tall, just like this if you want. Then if you want to fold a little deeper, you're going to walk your hands away from you and you end up folding over the side of your thigh. Hands walk further out, and maybe once you get out where you think your elbows a little bit and lower down a little bit. And once you get where you think you're going, notice if you're holding anything. I tend to hold in my hip flexor and sort of keep myself stuck somewhere, so see if you can relax. We are going to try to keep the belly pulled in toward the spine, and we're going to try to drop the tailbone down the back. All right, let's come back in. Lift your head, straighten your arms if they're bent. Walk your hands in closer to your body. Good. Then we're going to turn back to the center. So your right arm will lift up and take the knees up and drop your hands so you're back where you started. And then take a couple windshield wipers before we do the other side. Okay, so the key to this is wide feet to get started. And then when you drop your knees all the way to the right, your right foot could land toward the top of your other knee. Okay. Then we're going to rotate the body around so that you are twisted to your right, and your left hand might start on your knee, and your right fingers kickstand behind you and get really tall, and that might be a nice twist where you choose to stay. If you want to come a little forward, fingertips to the floor, begin to crawl yourself out away from your body, palms to the floor, and you decide, maybe you want to keep your torso upright and focus on the twist here. You could also bend the elbows and lower, coming a little deeper into the hip. Even though we're going to try to relax in some areas, we still want to keep the belly pulled up toward the spine and the tailbone extended down the back. And as you inhale, lift your head, straighten your arms if they're bent, and begin to walk your hands back in close. Coming back to face the center, your left arm will reach up, lift your knees up, and drop back where you started so that your feet are wide and you're leaning back, and we'll take the knees side to side. All right. Good. Okay, so we're going to come into boat pose. So find a place where you can settle onto the, in between your tailbone and your sitting bones. And let's start with tippy toes on the floor. And then you can hold on as much as you need on top or underneath, but relax your shoulders down your back. Okay. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades toward each other, lift the heart up, and maybe that's where you choose to stay. If you want to come a little higher, you can release your feet from the floor a little bit, or you could lift them up so you have parallel shins with the floor. And again, hold on or don't, that's completely up to you. It helps if you smile. And then if you wanted to straighten your legs, of course, you could straighten them all the way out. But, you know, it all works. We want to keep the belly strong. We want to keep the shoulders broad. And we want to keep smiling. It's just yoga, right? We don't want to take ourselves too seriously. Feel that squeeze. Keep that lift. Even if your feet are on the ground, keep that lift through your heart. And as we release, bend the knees, place the soles of your feet together and come into butterfly. Maybe removing some of your seat cushions out the back, and then begin to tip forward. Relax your shoulders. Don't let your arms pull you in. Let your heart lead you forward. All right, we're going to do some inner thigh strengthening. So as you inhale, sit up tall. And exhale, settle right here. Next, inhale, squeeze your knees all the way up by your arms. And then exhale, press your knees down toward the ground. So inner thigh, squeeze up. Outer thigh, press down. Good. Squeeze it up. And press. Rotate the hip socket out, out, out. And then one more. Squeeze. And lower. All right. Release that. We're going to come into reverse table to stretch the hip flexor. So lean back onto your hands again. So with reverse table, we've got the feet set up with a little space between them. And we're leaning back onto our hands. So I prefer to be safe on the shoulders, fingertips to the side. Okay, if you really wanted reverse table with your fingers pointing toward your feet. You could choose that. It's pretty tough on the wrist and shoulders. We don't want to point out the back. Okay? All right, so press into your feet, press into your hands, lift your heart, and this might be where you stay. If you want to keep coming, hips lift from the tailbone. So press your feet, squeeze your bum, and lift your hips up. Expand across the heart. And I recommend neutral spine. So instead of dropping your head out the back, keep your head at the end of your spine and gazing straight up at the ceiling above you. One more breath in. As you breathe out, release down and pull your hips all the way to the back. So slide back, coming into Dandasana, dropping down. Okay. Inhale, arms lift up. And we'll exhale, cactus elbows again. Open your heart. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, reach out toward the front, forward fold, dropping in. Pause here, breathe in and out. And inhale, lift up, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, release your hands down to your sides, right beside your hips. Lift up through your hips. Hold them forward, come into reverse table again. Hips go up, feet press to the ground. So you don't have to lift your hips up. You can leave them on the floor. Press into the underside of each finger. Really squeeze your bum and lift your tailbone. Broaden your shoulders. Deep breath in. On your next exhale, release. Pull your hips all the way back. Lift your toes up, rock on your heels, pull all the way back through and drop down. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, cactus your elbows, open your heart. One more, inhale up. Exhale, forward fold over. Notice if you're a little deeper this time. Drop your arms beside your shins. Let your shoulders relax. Think about getting long through the spine. We don't want to round over. Forward folding is like being a stapler, right? You've got two flat pieces that the top one folds onto the other one, right? Your stapler doesn't bend in the middle and peck at the ground. Okay. All right, as you inhale, lift your head, reach your arms with you, lift all the way back up. Exhale, release your hands down beside you. We're gonna do one more time, but we won't stay as long. So press the floor, lift your hips, pull your hips forward and up, lift, neutral spine in the neck, squeeze your tush, press up. Exhale, release, rock onto your heels, pull your hips all the way back, tuck your belly underneath, and then drop down. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, elbows wide, cactus. Inhale up, forward fold, exhale, over your shins, drop your arms to the floor, try to get long in your spine. And if you place your palms beside your shins on the floor or beside your knees, and then drag with traction your palms toward your hips, that will help you keep your shoulders broad and your spine long. Yeah. All right, release that, lift your head, inhale, arms all the way up, and exhale, relax. Okay, let's flip over onto hands and knees. Feel free to have a moment to visit your water bottle. Tabletop. Hands and knees for tabletop. And once you come into table, start with cat and cow. Opening your back, opening your front. Spread the fingers wide. Come into neutral spine, and then we're going to take the hips side to side. So swish out to one side, then pull your hips across out to the other side. Back and forth. Back and forth. Good. Now we're going to tuck the toes underneath from neutral spine. Tuck your toes under. We're going to pick the knees up and just hover for a moment. So you can decide if that's too much on your back, of course, drop your knees back down. Try not to get too high. Try to hover them just a little off the ground. On your next exhalation, down dog, lift your hips up and readjust as you need, feet and hands, so you can come into a nice strong downward dog. Then once you feel like you've got your placement, go ahead and pedal through your feet. Bend one knee, sitting deep into the hip. And bend the other knee. Drop your head, let your neck extend. That's it. Good. All right, neutral spine, downward dog. Deep breath in. Big sigh out. Press your hands, pull your sitting bones away. Inhale, rise on the tippy toes, roll forward into plank. Exhale, lower your knees. Drop down to the ground, elbows toward your back. Taking a low cobra here, point your toes. Inhale, raise up your head and shoulders. Exhale, lower back down. We'll do one more of those. Raise your head and shoulders, low cobra. Exhale, lower down. Now press your hands, pull back to child's pose. Lift your hips, widen your knees, and pull all the way back to sit on your feet. So you decide how that feels. Wide knees, feet toward each other. Yeah. Deep breaths in, big sigh, let it out. Now we're going to release the shoulders a bit from this extended child's pose. Bend at the elbows, widen your arms, and draw your hands back a little closer to your body. So you're kind of in cactus, but your hands are down. One more breath here. And as you inhale, walk your hands forward again, tuck your toes, downward dog, lift up and back. Reach your right leg upward toward the sky, and as you exhale, bend your knee, lift your hip open, twisting into that twisted three-legged dog. Really lift your knee toward the sky, and then circle your ankle over here. Yeah. Now release circling the ankle and circle your knee instead. Draw circles around with your knee. Reverse, other way. Excellent. Now straighten your leg up toward the sky. Really big scissor kick. Then as you exhale, release your foot through the center. We're going to come forward for a lunge. Bringing your foot all the way through. And let's start by dropping the back knee. Go ahead and put that knee down. The toes can stay tucked or not. That's up to you. We're going to bring the hands to the knee. Press down and inhale. Open your heart. Exhale, settle. Option to stay right here with your hands, otherwise hands come up, inhale, and exhale, cactus. Open your heart. Press again, inhale up, and exhale, cactus. Good, one more of those. Exhale, cactus. Then release your arms down, and maybe if it's okay with you, interlace your fingers. Try to straighten out through your arms and press your knuckles back behind you. If that doesn't work, place your hands on your cheeks and squeeze your elbows toward each other instead. Yeah, good. We're going to take an inhale here, and as you exhale, dive forward over your knee. So option one, stay right here where you are. Otherwise, tuck the toes in the back and press through a straight leg, coming up into a straight leg lunge. You decide where you want to be today. Really press down into those feet. Lift the belly away from the ground and breathe broad into your heart space. Great job. Then we're going to release, drop the hands down to the ground or your blocks, and we'll step back, downward dog. You can always choose child's pose here. The other option is to move with me through vinyasa. So if you want to stay in downward dog, please stay. Drop to child's pose and stay, or come forward as you breathe. Inhale to plank. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, cobra, broadening the shoulders. Exhale, downward dog, pull it back. Deep breath in, really pull the breath into your side waist. your side ribs. Then we're gonna come into that three-legged dog on the other side. As you're ready, left leg reaches up toward the sky. Bend your knee. Open your hip, twisting the knee up toward the sky, then circle your ankle around a few times in each direction. So you can always take these from your knees. If you'd rather be on hands and knees, your knee can open the same. Now we're gonna circle the knee around. Ready? Hands and knees, table circling or downward dog circling. Both directions, reverse if you haven't already. Then we're gonna straighten that leg up into a big scissor kick and pull it all the way through for a lunge. Foot comes through, drop your knee down in the back, and then you choose to point or not your toe in the back. Starting with the hands on the knee in the front, press down and straighten your arms and find a little back bend and a hip flexor stretch. Nice. Feel free to stay here. Otherwise, you inhale your arms straight up and exhale cactus. Open your heart, squeeze your shoulder blades. Nice. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, open. Inhale, reach. One more, exhale, open. And then you choose hands go interlaced behind, maybe opposite thumb on top this time, or hands to your cheeks. Squeeze your elbows. Inhale, reach your heart up. Exhale, dive forward. Again, your choice to stay here. Otherwise, tuck the toes in the back and straighten your back leg. Really use the strength of your legs to push. Deep, long breaths. One more of those. Exhale, release your hands to the ground. Step back, downward dog or child's pose. Feel free to stay or move. Inhaling through plank. Exhaling down halfway or all the way. Back bending of your choice. And downward dog. And then we'll all settle in child's pose. So drop your knees. And your choice to keep the knees together or apart, but find what's comfortable for you. Child's pose. And you can stack your hands under your head if you need. Maybe relax the wrists by rolling them around. Deep, long, slow breaths into the sides of your ribs. Big sighs out your mouth. Okay, we're going to take this child's pose into a lateral stretch. So you might want to start by bringing your legs a little closer to each other. Then walk your hands toward the right side. They're going to go off the edge of your mat onto the floor. And place them far enough apart that your hands out to the right side are far enough apart like you're doing downward dog. So walk your hands to the right. Yeah. And pull your hips toward the opposite foot. So your hips are going toward your left heel. And see if you can find that opening in your left side ribs. And we'll walk back through the center and do the same on the other side. Walk your hands out wide toward the left side of your mat. Keep space between your hands and pull your hips toward your opposite foot, so away toward your right foot. Yeah. So if this feels too much or too intense, don't go as far away. And you could also place both hands on top of low blocks. And that will give you a little more lift, and you wouldn't have to go down so low to the ground. All right, let's come back through the center. And this time we're going to crawl under a fence, so your hands are wide apart. You're going to slide forward, and you're going to come into cobra out at the front. Good. Drop those shoulders down, squeeze the elbows, pull your navel in. Relax your glutes. From here, tuck your toes, find downward dog, pull up and back. Take your right leg to the sky, inhale. hands to the knee and press up as we did before. Feel free to stay here. Otherwise, hands come to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, cactus your elbows, heart open. Inhale, reach to the sky. And cactus your elbows, heart open. Inhale up. One more time, cactus, open wide. Release your hands down your back, interlace. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, dive forward over your front knee. So you can always have your knee down in the back, same as we did before. This time we're going to add a twist. So as you exhale, release your hands to the ground or a block under your left hand. We're going to twist to the right. Okay. So if you're staying high, you've got right hand on your knee and left hand on the block, and then turning from there. Okay. Right arm goes to the sky. Open up. Take care of the toes on your front foot. Make sure your foot is pointed straight ahead. Yeah, drop your hips a little. Get down deep into that lunge. Nice. Really nice. All right, we're going to come to forward fold next. So as you untwist, bring your back foot to the front. Pull it up, forward fold. Yeah. So we did forward fold earlier seated, so now we're upright. So drop in with your head and chest. Lift your tailbone and your sitting bones up. As you inhale, halfway lift. Extend through your spine. Exhale, forward fold. One more half. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand all the way up. Reach to the sky with your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, cactus your elbows, heart open. Inhale, up again. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Half lift here. Exhale, step back into downward dog. All right, so same business as before. We take three-legged dog on the left side. So extend your left leg up toward the sky and pull it all the way through, coming into a high lunge. So if it doesn't make it the first time, drop down onto your knees perhaps and bring your foot around the front. And then reapply. Lift it up in the back. Your choice always to keep it down, okay? We're gonna bring the hands to the knee. Press down onto your hands. Open through the heart. Find that hip flexor stretch here. Check that your front foot is pointing straight ahead and that your knee is also pointing straight ahead. All right, so option to bring the hands up or leave them on your knee. Exhale, cactus, nice and wide. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open the heart. One more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, open up wide. Good, release your hands down the back. Hands either to your cheeks or interlace them. Bring the heels of your hands together. Exhale, dive forward. All right, so again, feel free to put your knee down on the ground in the back. Big breaths in and out. And then we're going to release the hands. Your right hand is going to come to the floor or a block. Rotating your shoulders to the left. Reach your palm up toward the sky. Yeah. So think about that opening in the front of your left shoulder as an extension of your chest. Yeah. Really bring your right shoulder more to the midline, and that will allow your left shoulder to pull back. Beautiful. Very nice. All right, release, hands down, step back, downward dog. All right, your choice to come down into child's pose or move through one more vinyasa. And we'll all meet up in child's pose. When you're ready, allow yourself to collapse down. Perhaps stacking hands or block under your forehead to give you some release in the back and the knees. want to turn sideways so you can use your whole mat, go ahead. I'm going to use this red mat across the back. And so we're going to take a wide straddle with your legs, but bend one knee in. All right. To get started, extend your right leg, arm. Your right leg and right arm together. Yeah. And then turn your shoulders toward your bent left knee and reach your left arm to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, slide sideways down the length of your left leg, your right leg, but try to keep your sitting bones on the ground. You're going to flex you're going to flex your right foot. Point those toes to the sky. Strong thigh over here on the right side. Yeah. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower your left hand to the ground. Coming up onto this left knee, reach yourself into a modified side plank. Yeah. So your right hand is on the ground and you're coming up onto the knee. Put your whole right foot on the ground as well. Just rotate it forward, yeah, and get strong there. So if you want to take this into any version of a side plank that's different from where we already are, go ahead. You could tuck your bottom leg behind the leg that's already on the floor, or you could stack your feet coming into the side plank. Yeah, nice job, nice options. All right, as you exhale, return to your straddle seat. And then we're going to take both legs out straight into Dandasana. So slide your left leg alongside your first one. Inhale, arms to the sky. Imagine we have a beach ball up here. We're going to put it in front of our feet. So reaching out nice and long. And reach way out as far as you can. And when you can't reach anymore, let go your arms and let them fall beside your legs. And see how broad you can get your shoulders. And then I'll encourage you, we're going to try something different with the arms. So take your fingertips to the floor behind your hips. So you sort of rotate them around like little tents. Yeah. And bring your heart forward and your fingers back. Yeah. All right. Inhale, release up. And we're going to come back through the center to take that straddle on the other side. So bend in your right knee this time and extend out your left leg. Whatever side you didn't already do. So we want to take this left leg long and straight, and we want to tighten the thigh and pick the toes up, flexed up toward the sky. Left arm goes with that straight leg. Turn your shoulders toward the bent knee side. Inhale that right arm up, big breath. Exhale, sideways leaning, lateral flexion through the spine and ribs and waist. Try to keep your sitting bones down on the ground. Nice lower back stretch. Breathe, smooth and deep. Inhaling, rise back up. Lower that right hand down to the ground and slide up onto your right knee. Coming into modified side plank. Go ahead and put your left foot completely down on the ground. And that's going to hold you in that side plank. Yeah. Feel free to stay right where you are. If you want to take any other version of side plank, maybe you want to lift and come into a half moon version. Yeah. You could always take your right leg and straighten it out behind your other leg. Or stack your feet. Yeah. Nice job. Good choices. Big breaths. And we'll release coming back where we came from, down onto your straddle seat. Then take your right leg, extend it out alongside your other leg, so you're in that Dandasana shape again. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, reach your beach ball out beyond your feet. When you can't reach anymore, drop your arms beside your body. Then we're going to try to get really long in the spine and bring the fingertips behind us, make a little tent. And if you want to, you can try interlacing your hands again, reaching your arms out the back and trying to get another heart opener here. Big deep breath. Inhale, release. And we're going to take a reverse plank position here with the lower body. You're gonna lean back, fingertips will point either out to the side or towards your feet. Okay, that's up to you. You can bend your knees and take table again if that's where it fits best on your body. Okay? Straight legs, lift your heart, lift your hips, reach up, extending back. Reach the balls of your big toes forward toward the ground, strong thighs. And release, exhale. Inhale, arms up, overhead, and cactus your elbows wide. Beautiful. Release your hands to the ground. Bend your left knee. You're going to take a twist to the left. So if you want, put the foot on the other side. That's up to you. Turning your body around to the left. Holding on to the knee, but keeping your right leg integrous. So we're really strong in your thigh. Toes toward the ceiling. Rotate your shoulders as you exhale. Just your head, turn it back and look over your right shoulder. Yeah. See if you can press down into the sole of your left foot. That'll give you a little more stretch in your outer left hip. Then keep your legs the way they are, but take your whole torso around and twist to the right. And your left arm is going to just go match the length of your left leg. Yeah. Sit tall, rotate around. And inhale, return to center. Keep your legs the way they are, but lean back on your hands. Then we're going to bend the bottom knee and we'll come into that seated figure four. So ankle over your thigh. Yeah, and you can take this wherever you want to go. So if you want to come up deeper for that deep figure four stretch, it's a sort of seated pigeon, right? Then you can walk your hands closer in to yourself. Walk your foot closer, your hands closer. You sit really tight. Okay. If you want to take this to the side a little bit, this is a hip stretch, right back here in this cheek. And then we'll release through the middle. Take this left leg, uncross it, kick it up in space, and slowly lower it all the way down. And let it shake out side to side. And we'll leave the left leg straight in front, and we're going to take this right foot and we'll twist. So you can either leave the foot on the floor here and twist, or you can plant the sole of your foot over here. So if your foot's not planted all the way, probably better to leave it flat, because we need the power of that foot to help us with our twist. So take your left arm, wrap it around. Inhale, sit really tall through your spine, and rotate to the side. So the right fingers can be behind you for assist. Give yourself a little kickstand. Deep breath. Big sigh. Just your head, turn it and look over your opposite left shoulder. That's it. Feel that stretch in your neck. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. And keep your lower body the way that it is. Untwist your torso and turn this time to the left. And bring your right arm to match your leg. Inhale, sit tall. Looking back over your left shoulder. And untwist to the front. Leave your legs the way they are, but lean back on your hands. Then pull your straight leg bent so you come into that figure four stretch. Yeah. And again, your choice. Make this as tight as you want by bringing your chest closer to your shin or bringing your foot closer to your bum or both. Right? So sideways, we started here. Okay. You could stay there and maybe move side to side. We're looking for that pigeon sensation in that stretch on the outer hip. Okay. All right, then we'll release that. Uncross your right leg and kick it straight out. Lower your heel all the way down to the ground. And once it gets there, give it a shake out to release. Okay. Nice job. Let's bring the soles of the feet in tight. We'll take one more butterfly forward fold. Deep breath in. Exhale. Tip forward. Relax your shoulders. Drop in. Even though we're folding forward in this cobbler shape, we want to press the soles of the feet into each other, and we want to really roll the hip sockets open. So we're going to take the thigh bones and roll them toward the back. Inhale, release, rising up, and exhale, let it go. So, we're just about out of time for this morning, so I encourage you to make any final stretches or movements that your body will need before you find yourself in a comfortable place for Savasana. Find your socks and your extra layers and your pillows, eye pillows, blankets, all those cozy things that help you settle in. So we began our practice talking about heart openers, and we started out on our back with a blanket under our shoulder blades for a heart opener. So if you would like to complete practice today in just the same way, go ahead. I prefer at the end of my practice, if I'm doing a heart opener, just a little bitty roll, and I'm going to take it a little wider, and I'm going to put it all the way across my mat. Also, if you have something under your shoulder blades for a heart opener, I highly recommend keeping your knees bent, or even bringing in a chair and placing the soles of your feet onto a chair. And that will help keep the low back from being in a too severe of a back bend. Begin to deepen your breath. Invite small movements into your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles. Extend your arms overhead and lengthen out your body from tip to toe. Stretch and hold your breath at the top of your inhalation. Exhale, let it all go and soften out. Gently release your arms, bend your knees, pull your knees in closer to your body and give yourself a squeeze. And gently rock onto your side. And from your side, press the ground and bring yourself upright into a comfortable seat. And once you're settled, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Feel the energy from your heart space radiate through your thumbs into the palms of your hands. And I would like to finish our practice today with a reading by Buthemaroba. It is only a habit to say you are at home, but look inside. You are home itself, and you hold infinity. You are not the door away to heaven. You are heaven. You are not someone waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle. On your next inhalation, take your hands and face upward toward the sky. Exhale, open your arms wide and shine your light out into the world. Bring your palms back together in front of your heart, and let's close sharing one Om together. Deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.
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 Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out today to share this practice, and thanks for bearing with me through these technical difficulties. John, I'm sorry we lost you at home for a while. We completely lost the Zoom meeting altogether.
Hey, no worries. Thank you so much. That was great.
Yeah, it was good to have you here. It's good to have you here. I'll see you.
I'm in the Hive, but I've done some of your sessions on the Hive, and they're great.
Oh, terrific. That's good to know. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, we're out there, and all the sessions out there have been really wonderful.
Excellent. Terrific. Good, good, good.
Okay.
Take care. Have a great weekend.
Thank you again.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, I have ended the meeting. Now I have to stop the recording.